Hey everyone, I wanted to talk about something that is very personal and something that will make me be quite vulnerable to all of you, but I think it's a very important thing to talk about, and that topic is self-doubt. Self-doubt in my transgender journey so far, and the journey up and coming when I start testosterone. I spent multiple years wondering if I was trans or not, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos to see if I could relate with the guys on there, and I talked to friends and I did my own research to try to figure out if I was trans or not. And I spent a lot of time wondering, am I truly trans? Can I stay the way I am? And there isn't really one right answer. I can't tell you that I am 100% sure that I am a transgender man. Someone once told me that you're not truly trans, or you're not supposed to transition unless you don't think you can live without it. So basically, if you're suicidal in the body that you're in, then you should be allowed to transition, and that means that you're truly transgender. For me, that is not true at all. I have very good mental health, I am not suicidal, and I can't say that my body is perfect the way that it is, but if someone told me that I had to live this way and not be able to take hormones and not be able to get any surgeries, I would be okay. I would be disappointed, of course. I want to do things that can make me more masculine, but I would survive. I would go on and live my life. I spent so much time wondering if I'm trans because I don't feel I have a lot of body dysphoria, and I know that's a main characteristic of transgender people, but it can just be more for some people than others. For me, I'm very tall and thin, and if you notice, I don't really have a chest, so I don't have any dysphoria in that way. I usually forget I even have one until I don't have my clothes on. And besides my voice, I feel I can pass for a guy pretty well because of my tall and thin shape. I find myself not being able to relate very often to cisgender men, and that was another reason why I thought that I wasn't trans, because I saw these men doing certain things and they're kind of more toxic masculinity traits, like drinking a lot of beer and shouting in public and doing kind of loud, this sounds bad, but kind of obnoxious behaviors. And I've always been a very sensitive and touchy-feely person, and that made me wonder if I was truly a guy, if I could be that way. Obviously, guys can be different. There's not one set standard for men and women. Gender can be all over the spectrum, and we all know this. To be honest, I also find it quite hard to relate to other trans men sometimes. There's plenty of trans men that I think I can relate to, and when I've watched videos on YouTube or known people who have transitioned, I really feel like that is something that I truly want, and I can really feel it. But there are a lot of trans people and a lot of trans experiences, like I'm talking about, that I feel I can't relate to, and that makes me wonder, am I truly trans? So I spent a long time just thinking, am I trans? Am I gender non-conforming? Well, I never really thought I was cisgender. I've always known that I wanted to be masculine my whole life, but I can't say when I was 5 or 6 years old, I just walked into the room and just said, I want to be a boy. I know I tend to always go towards male things. I've always wanted to kind of be one of the boys. Just little things I've noticed through my childhood and even in my adulthood. It's basically been a back and forth game in my head, and every time I feel like I take a step forward, I feel like I jump 3 steps back. And sometimes even just talking about it out loud, I freak myself out. And I'm like, is that a big warning sign, red flag, don't do this? Or am I finally just coming to accept these terms and I'm a little bit scared? I'm the type of person that overanalyzes every situation. I'm always weighing out the positives and negatives, and I'm not very impulsive. So with all of this, it's been very difficult because I don't feel a lot of it can be reversed, and I know certain things can, but once I make a decision to change my name, to change my gender, to medically alter my body, I do not want to go back on that decision. I've found that most trans guys that I talk to never expressed that they had any type of self-doubt. And that made me wonder again, am I really trans if I'm having all of these doubts, if I'm having a hard time spending years figuring out my identity? Maybe that means I'm not really trans. But recently, I made a post in the FTM Facebook group talking about self-doubt, and tons and tons, I think like 50 guys commented and said that they've experienced self-doubt too. And I found some other YouTube videos, and this is why I think this is so important, that if you have doubt, that is totally normal. I finally pushed myself to come out as a trans guy and to change my name and my pronouns, just socially. I haven't done anything legally yet. But I told myself I would start doing that at the beginning of 2017 to see how I feel. And now, November of 2017, I'm feeling really good, and I'm glad I pushed myself to do that. But my next big decision is that I'm going to start hormones at the end of December of this year. And I am extremely nervous if this is the right decision for me. I made the appointment, and then afterwards, I just freaked out and I didn't know if it was right, and I was excited and I was scared and I wanted to cancel it, but I wanted to go, and it's just all been a huge process. To be honest, right now, I'm not even for sure I want to go to the appointment. I have been thinking about going on hormones for years, but I still don't know if it's the right decision, and I don't think I'm gonna know. I think I just have to wait and see if I like it. I kind of just have to try it and see if it's good, and if it's not, know that I can stop it and just go back to being who I was before. Okay, that's all I've got for tonight. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. Again, please share this and comment anything you want to do. Alright, and subscribe. Okay, bye!